Hello everyone, welcome back to Seed Time and Harvest. I am so excited you're here today because I'm going to show you a simple way that you can replace something you would otherwise purchase at the supermarket. What do I have here? Onions. You can guess it. You're right. We are making onion powder. You know, when you go and you buy onion powder, there are so many extra ingredients in your onion powder. We're going to cut that out today, okay? So from today on out, you are going to be making your own onion powder, as will I. Let's get into it. Very simple ingredients. You have an onion. We have our dehydrator, and I have a blender here, and then some other little props on my table, but they're gonna be handy because it's very easy to make dehydrated vegetables, whether you wanna make some dried cilantro, parsley, basil, whatever it is, you know, your seasoning. You don't have to go to the store and purchase those anymore because by now you would already have your garden growing in your backyard and you would have already purchased your dehydrator. So I'm going to show you how to combine those things to make life a little more budget friendly, right? As we prepare for a crisis, we need to get our survival pantry stocked, and I'm just going to bring you on the journey with me to make some easy preparation to get things ready, packed so that you can save money that you would otherwise purchase these unnecessaries and, you know, maybe get a nicer blender or put some more raised beds in your backyard or whatever it is you can use the extra funds for. So for today, what we're going to do is we're going to slice our onions. You can wash them, peel them, cut them however you choose, okay? But I'm going to slice them because when I dehydrate, the more surface area you put to the food, the easier it is for dehydrating. So I'm going to slice my onions, thin slices. I know my onion has a brown spot in the center. I'm going to remove that before I put it in my dehydrator. And I'm working with the Nesco today. My Excalibur is otherwise occupied, so I have a Nesco as my backup. I'm going to be using that for my onion powder. Again, thin, even slices. All right. I'm not going to be dangerous with the knife. I'm going to use the cutting board as that's what it's meant for. Okay. So I'm going to cut my onion, go through, remove these brown spots. Whenever you go have any food for processing, you want to make sure that it's in prime condition, all right? Again, with your onion, you don't know what's inside until you actually cut into it. So now that we cut into it, we see what's in it, we're going to have those removed. For you to make onion powder, you're going to need a lot of onions, right? So we're going to move to our dehydrator, and I'm just going to stack my tray with the onions. I have a lined sheet here to make it easier to put these on the dehydrator. They won't get stuck to the regular tray, which would make it a little bit hard for them to remove. I don't have a whole lot of trays, so of course some of them are going to go directly onto the dehydrating rack. But just like that, I'm going to spread these evenly. It's onion, so it does have a lot of rings. It comes in rings. It's going to have a lot of space, so just line them out. You don't want anything to be too crowded, which would make it take longer to dehydrate. We're going to do one more tray just to show you, and this, once you get your onions on, you're going to go to the temperature setting on your dehydrator for vegetables, and you may want to dehydrate these 6 to 12 hours until they're nice and crispy. They will be a little bit brown, which is good, okay? That's how you want your onions to be. And because you want it to be crispy, and you can increase your temperature setting a little bit. So I'm gonna go about 145, all right? And of course, I am not cutting these evenly or perfect circles. I mean, that's okay because they're gonna be blended, right? So that's fine. We're gonna get another tray, and we're going to pack these on our tray. Just like that. When you make any form of seasoning, it does take a little bit of prep work, but it will be well worth it. Okay? You don't have any extra ingredients that you won't even be able to pronounce the name. You control the ingredients in your food. You add, you take away, you can make multiple batches, and I mean, you're growing it in your garden, so it won't cost you any extra, but a little more time. So I'm gonna pack my dehydrator, get it plugged in, and get that running. I'm gonna do 145. And of course, this will run overnight, or as long as it will take for your onions to get dry and crispy, okay? Let me add these in. And it's that easy, okay? I mean, you can get a bunch of onions, a dozen onions, stack your dehydrator, get everything nice, evenly spread, have that running while you're resting. The dehydrator is doing all the work for you. Then we're gonna go to the next step, all right? Once your time has passed, your onions have been dehydrating, it's been a couple hours, everything is nice and crisp. I'm gonna take you to the dehydrator so you can see what you're looking for. Your dehydrator did all the work for you, okay? So after about 6 to 12 hours, again, depending on your area, how thick you slice your onion, it shouldn't take more than that for them to dry out. We're looking for a slightly brown color in our onion, but it should be crisp to the touch. Once that's done, we're gonna move to the next step. So let me unplug my dehydrator and we will see what these look like. Okay, so I'm gonna bring these trays over here, and I don't know if you can hear it, but they are really crispy. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our onion, these nicely dehydrated onions. We're gonna put them in our blender. You can use a coffee grinder, but I think most people have a blender, right? So I will just say we're gonna load our blender with our onion. Make sure you have a really dry blade. Whenever you are completed with your dehydrating and you're going to processing, you wanna make sure your blades are dry. All your utensils are dry. We do not want to reintroduce moisture to our food. You can put these onion rings in soup, you can put them in gravy, stews, whatever you like, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna be making onion powder. You follow these steps to make garlic powder. You can make, again, your dehydrated veggies. You can even make powdered veggies. I recently got into making carrot powder to add to smoothies and a different type of food. Whatever it is, zucchini, turnip, pumpkin, you can dehydrate them, make a powder out of it, and then you can add them to different recipes so that you're getting all your veggies in every meal, okay? If you don't like a veggie, put it in a powdered form. Now that our blender is stacked with all our onions, we're on to the next step. Simply replace the cap on your blender and we're going to blend this. Make sure your blender is on. So you just want to blend it until you see no more onion chunks. And be careful when you open it because you're going to get onion powder all over your face. Okay, and the dust has settled. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but did you, sorry, do you smell that? You can't smell it, but you can see it. Oh man, this smells so good. And it looks good too. Onion powder, guys. That's simple. Dried onion blended. Save about $8 if you were to buy a big jar of onion powder at Sam's Club. The next step is simple. I already have a container here with some onion powder. So I'm going to add what I've just blended to my jar. And I may need a bigger jar. Believe it or not, that was about 3 onions. And 3 onions is gonna more than fill my jar. The final step As you may know, when you have onion powder, it starts to harden almost immediately. After cutting it, it starts to harden. The best way to stop that is to add maybe 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch, just a little bit of cornstarch depending on how much you're blending. 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch, and you're gonna make sure that's combined well. That's gonna stop it from caking. You don't need any chemical anti-caking ingredients in your onion powder. Another option, if you're using like a jar that has the size holes of a salt shaker, you can add rice to your onion powder. The rice will also prevent it from caking. And it's that easy. I'm shaking it. It's that easy. You have your own personal homemade onion powder. We all buy onions, right? We like to cook with onions. So you already have it in your kitchen. You have your dehydrator. Again, if you don't have a dehydrator, you can use your oven. Put it on the lowest setting, chop your onions, put them in the oven. Once they're dried, you dump them in your blender. You give it a nice whisk until it's in a powdered form. You add your cornstarch or your rice, and it's that simple, right? Even my 12-year-old can do it. And he does. So you're gonna be doing it too. And this is just one more thing you'll be adding to your dehydration pantry. I hope you found this video very easy, very helpful, very budget friendly. So you already have the ingredients. There's nothing stopping you from making your own personal onion powder. All right, and that's it. If you need any more tips on simple things that you can use to replace going out and purchase any other items that you think maybe, okay, this is too expensive, let me know in the comment section below. I will do my best to meet all your needs as much as I can to help you to get ready, to be within budget, to live within your means, and to prepare for a time of trouble. So I'm looking forward to those comments, and I'm looking forward to your interaction in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, as you know, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Onion powder, see? That easy. You can do it too, right?